Did you hear the question, Senator? Running for re-election in 2026? All right, I'm sorry.
Stop scrolling right now. You are not going to believe what just happened on live television to one of the most powerful politicians in America. The cover-up happening behind the scenes is absolutely insane.
You all, we're going to need a minute. Senator Penny.
Wait, did you catch that? Look at his eyes completely glaze over as they try to guide him away from the podium. It's like the lights are on, but absolutely nobody is home right now. You have to ask yourself, who is actually running things when the people in charge are literally freezing up mid-sentence on national television? The aides standing next to him are just looking at each other, totally panicked, trying to figure out if they should grab him or pull him away before things get worse. We are talking about one of the highest ranking officials in Washington, D.C., making decisions that affect millions of everyday citizens, and he cannot even finish a thought without needing an assistant to step in and physically move him. It's not just scary. It is a massive, undeniable security risk for the entire country.
I bumped into him. There wasn't an obstacle in his way. He simply lost his footing and went down. And watching moments like these, it's hard not to ask whether the people closest to him are making decisions that are truly in his best interest. At 84 years old, after multiple public health scares,
did you see how hard he hit the ground there? There was absolutely nothing in his way. No bump in the carpet, no stray wires, nothing. He just completely lost his footing and collapsed right there in the middle of a busy hallway. The security detail reacts instantly, which tells me this probably isn't the first time they've had to catch him like this. It is honestly terrifying to think that someone this physically fragile is still expected to keep up with the grueling demands of a top-tier political office. Imagine the intense pressure and the insane travel schedules these guys have to maintain. If you can't even walk down a perfectly flat hallway without taking a massive tumble, how can anyone expect you to handle late-night negotiations or high-stakes international crises? Something is definitely being hidden from us.
Secretary Communications. East Army Supervisor, CPR in progress.
Okay.
Able to respond for cardiac arrest.
Listen closely to that dispatch audio. That is a raw 911 emergency call for a sitting senator going into full cardiac arrest. They are literally performing CPR right there on the scene. When medical professionals are doing chest compressions, that means the heart has completely stopped. This isn't just a minor dizzy spell or a light stumble. This is a life or death emergency unfolding in real time. And what happened right after this? Absolute radio silence from his team. No official medical updates, no transparent statements, nothing. They completely lock down the information flow. When a public servant experiences a massive, near-fatal medical event, the public has a fundamental right to know if they are still capable of doing the job they were elected to do. The fact that they tried to sweep this under the rug is extremely telling.
and we've had this conversation before, haven't we? Americans spent years debating whether those around President Biden were shielding the public from the reality of his condition. Regardless of where you fall politically, the same principle should apply to everyone. If an elected official is no longer physically or...
Look closely at this moment. We have seen this exact same scenario play out on the other side of the political aisle as well. It doesn't matter what party you belong to. The reality of aging catches up to absolutely everyone. When a sitting commander-in-chief collapses on stage at a military graduation, it sends a massive shockwave across the entire globe. Our allies see this, and more importantly, our adversaries see this. The people rushing to his side are doing their best to shield him, but you cannot hide that level of physical vulnerability from the cameras. We desperately need to have a serious, honest conversation about age limits and cognitive tests for the people holding the highest offices in the land. The stakes are simply too high to let fragile optics dictate our national security policy right now.
And Thune and everybody else could have a 20-minute phone call with Mitch McConnell. He should be able to shoot a 60-second proof of life video to show us that he's okay. I think they know the deadline for a special election is August 3rd. If he's dead or if he's on a ventilator, if he's not able to do his job, he should resign right now. They should have a...
I have to completely agree with the guy on the panel here. If everything is totally fine and dandy, where is the video proof? Why rely on secondhand accounts and hearsay when you could just pull out a smartphone, hit record, and show the world a 60-second clip of him talking and acting normally? The fact that they haven't done something that simple is exactly why everyone is so suspicious right now. It takes zero effort to post a quick update video. When powerful people vanish from the public eye and their handlers refuse to provide basic visual evidence that they are okay, it almost always means the situation is way worse than they are letting on. We have reached a point where the public simply does not trust the official narrative anymore, and it is entirely their own fault. Take a hard look at this headline. A major news publication literally accidentally published his obituary draft. They had this ready to go in the drafts folder, and someone accidentally hit the publish button. Newsrooms only prep these kinds of look back articles when they know the end is extremely near. This wasn't just a random typo. This was a highly coordinated preparation for a massive news drop that got leaked early. It completely exposes the disconnect between what the political PR machines are telling the public and what the media insiders actually know is happening behind the scenes. They are telling us everything is fine, while simultaneously writing up his final career retrospective. You simply do not draft a do not use memorial piece unless you are actively expecting the person to pass away at any given second.
Filed for to run for this office, but it's
It could be used for other purposes.
That's perfunctory, yeah. And I would not run for this office most likely.
Okay. Is there any other office you might contemplate?
We'll see. Doors could open. Who knows?
Pay attention to what this congressman is saying here. He is being asked directly about filling a potential vacancy, and he is dodging the question like a professional acrobat. The way he nervously laughs and calls it perfunctory tells you everything you need to know about the panic happening behind closed doors right now. The politicians in his own state are already getting their ducks in a row and calculating their next career moves because they know the writing is permanently on the wall. They won't admit it publicly yet, but the vultures are absolutely circling. This is exactly how the political machine operates. The moment weakness is detected, the internal power struggles begin immediately. No one wants to look like they are dancing on a political grave, but they are absolutely preparing for a massive shift in power. Here we go again with another perfectly polished written statement. Quotes on a graphic mean absolutely nothing when dealing with a health crisis of this magnitude. Anyone with a keyboard and an office password can type out a statement and slap a senator's name on it. It provides zero proof of life and zero proof of cognitive function. We live in an era of advanced technology where a video call takes 5 seconds to set up, yet they keep relying on these archaic written press releases to communicate with the world. It is a deliberate choice to hide the visual reality from the public eye. Until we see him standing, speaking, and answering unscripted questions in real time, every single piece of paper they push out should be treated as a highly suspect piece of political fiction designed to delay. Drop your honest thoughts in the comments below, hit subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.